Hey YouTube, I'm back with another video. I'm actually very excited to share my story with you all, so please stay tuned and keep on watching. I feel thorns where my crown was. I'll be weak, but I'm alive from the dust until dawn. Yeah, I'll survive, cause I got sweet victory. Nobody can take it from me. Sweet victory, cause I got sweet victory. Yeah. I feel thorns where my crown was. I'll be weak, but I'm alive from the dust until dawn. Yeah, I'll survive, cause I got sweet victory. Nobody can take it. Welcome back. If you see me end up looking down, it's because I actually took notes. I didn't want to miss out on no basic information that might be very helpful to some people. So rewinding back, because my fertility journey was pretty long, rewinding back to November 2015 is when my husband and I got married. About a year, we spoke about having kids. We knew we both wanted kids, but we didn't put a time on it. About a year into marriage, we had no signs of pregnancy. We had no false alarm, actually. So we started wondering what's going on. We decided to go to the OBGYN office and get some tests done. So, of course, I'm the female. I had to get more tests done. So I went. They ran a lot of lab work, a lot of tests, and they couldn't find anything at all. They actually said, you're pretty healthy, so all we can tell you is just to keep trying for now. And maybe in the future, if nothing works for you, we'll refer you to a fertility office or fertility clinic. But they said beforehand, before we can even do that, we have to get your husband tested. So I said, okay, how does that go to play? They said two options. Either you come into the hospital and, you do the do, or you have to do it at home, but you have to make sure you hold the semen with your dear life. So I said, okay, how so? Of course, we had to collect the semen. I had to wear it somewhere very warm. They said either under your armpits, in between cleavage, or anywhere warm that keeps heat in your body. So we did what we had to do. We took in the semen to the hospital. We kept it warm, turned it in, but they said we had to go and do that about 5 a.m., 5 to 6 a.m. We had to turn it into the hospital. And it was very draining. It was it was a lot of work because after doing that, the hospital was about 30 to 40 minutes away from us. So, just keeping it warm and just hoping that we didn't bring in semen that was no good because of the time in between and trying to make sure the body temperature kept it warm enough. So we did that. And after they ran his test, they saw he had no issues as well. So the doctor decided to send us a referral. The fertility clinic called us and they said, ma'am, you have unexplained fertility. So I said, okay, the name kind of tells you what it is itself. It's unexplained. There's no name for it. So I said, okay, since it's unexplained, what can I do? They said, it's two things. Either you can keep trying or we can see you in our office. I said, okay, how does that go to play? What do I have to fill out? What do I have to do? They said, your husband and I will have to come in. The consultation fee is $300 each, and we could go from there. I said, excuse me, can you please repeat that? 300 for both? And she said, no, it's 300 each. About 300 to 350 each. So she said it could be up to $700 for both of you guys. I said, hold on a second. I'm about to pay you $700 just to tell me what I already know, unexplained fertility. I said, it would have been different if they found something, but they didn't find nothing. So you're going to tell me you want me to pay you $700 just so we can have a 5 to 10 minute conversation to tell me that I have nothing wrong with me just to keep trying? She said, ma'am, we can't really discuss much on the phone, but you can schedule an appointment to come in. I said, okay, I'll call you back. So I talked to my husband. I explained how I wasn't for it because I was not going to throw $700 away just to know that we have no issue and they just want to tell us it's unexplained to keep trying. I said, we kind of know to keep trying on our own, don't you think? So he agreed with me. We decided to not go with the fertility clinic. I said, at this point, if it's unexplained, I said there's nothing we can do but to leave it in God's hands. So that's what we did. I did take the referral paper. I said, I feel like this is a defeat that I'm going to pray on. That was just my faith. That's what I believed. So I did take that paper and I prayed on it. We prayed on it. We said we would not accept this, to have to know you have no issue and to just hear that it's unexplained and to keep trying. To me, I was not accepting that. What is unexplained? Like there's nothing behind unexplained, and I was very confused and it was very heartbreaking to know that after trying for about a year and a half, and there wasn't even a false alarm. So we took that paper and we prayed and prayed and prayed on it. And I actually took that paper and I put it in my wallet. So even any time I had throughout the day, I took it out and I said, Lord, I thank you. I didn't really pray on it. I just thanked them in advance. I said, I thank you for what you're about to do because I will not accept this defeat. So, and then fast forwarding to 2017. Actually, we spoke to the fertility clinic in December 2016. And then, as I told you, I had the paper with me. I had went to Haiti that year to visit family. And I explained to them what's going on because I feel like when people get married, everybody wants to know when you're about to have a baby. So I didn't tell people who didn't need to know, but I did explain to family what was going on. It just wasn't working for us. So my father-in-law did, they're all about the herbs and stuff. So he did tell me, just take some detox, detox your body, get your body prepared, to receive, So get your body prepared. And beforehand, before you even want to try, he said, do a detox, drink some teas, remedies, just to see, if you could get your uterus at least the nutrients it needs to receive. So I said, okay, and we did as that. Came back from Haiti, a couple weeks later, I started feeling weird. So I wasn't really sure what I was feeling because I've never been pregnant before that. So I started feeling weird. It was like I felt nauseous, bubble guts, TMI. It felt very uncomfortable. So I decided to take a test. And actually it was on Valentine's Day that year. I took a test and, just to take a test. Since I had so many tests, I took a test and it was positive. So keep in mind it was on Valentine's Day, so that made it even better. I was excited. I had called my husband. I said, I got something to show you. You have to come see it right now. And when I showed him, it felt so surreal. I couldn't believe it. I said, Lord, I thank you. I prayed. I said, please keep this baby safe, And then I cried like a baby. And then fast forwarding, I found out I was having a boy. We decided to name him Jaden. because Jaden stands for God has heard, and we felt like God has heard our prayers. So that was why we chose that name. And then when I turned 19 weeks, throughout that pregnancy, though, when I was 14 weeks, I had a scare, which we will talk about in another video. But when I became 19 weeks, I woke up on Memorial Day, May May 28th or 29th of that year. It was on Memorial Day. I woke up with cramps, but everybody was off from work, so I thought it was just like with hormones during pregnancy, sometimes you could feel certain things. So I thought it was something simple. Went to the bathroom. There was no reason to. And then I was fine. An hour later, I started feeling cramps again. Keep in mind, I've never been pregnant, so I didn't know what I was experiencing. And I was like, man, I'm not feeling right. So I called my husband, and I told him what I was feeling. And then he told me, do you need to go to the hospital? I said, nah, because I feel like going to the hospital, they're just going to send me home and say, you're fine. So I didn't want to deal with that. So I decided to wait and wait. And the cramps was getting more intense and more intense. So I told my husband, no, something ain't feeling right. Because even when I stand, I feel weak to my knees. I said, I think I need to get checked. Before I could even said, I think I need to get checked, I was screaming on the top of my lungs. I'm not even being dramatic. It was painful. So they called 911 because I wouldn't made it to the hospital. It was too far away. And by the time I got on the stretcher, I couldn't even sit. Got inside the ambulance, and he was like, ma'am, you need to sit down. I started screaming. I said, you don't know what I'm talking. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm in pain, excruciating pain. I said, I can't sit. If I sit, I feel like something is cutting through me. He was like, ma'am, have a seat. We're going to have to tie you. I said, do what you want, but I'm not sitting down because something is cutting down there and it doesn't feel right. So they decided to strap me like standing up on the bars on top of the ambulance. I said, I don't care what you do, but I'm standing the whole way. So when we pulled up to the hospital, I decided to jump out of the vehicle. I literally opened the door and jumped out. I said, this pain is intense. I'm not staying in here anymore. So by the time I could make it into the hospital doors, and by my parents and my husband was following the ambulance, the EMT, whatever they were. So my parents and them was following them. So by the time I could make it to the hospital, I ran into the ER door, and I was like, I need help. I need help. I was screaming on the top of my lungs, I need help. And they had a wheelchair ready for me. Out of wheelchair, I couldn't sit down. I was literally just taking a ride standing up on the wheelchair. And they was like, okay, let's lay you down on the bed. Lay me down on the bed. They said, well, everything looks fine. They did a sonogram. The baby looked fine. And I was like, no, something is not fine. Then I was like, you know what? I need to go to the bathroom. I have to pee so bad. They was like, no, you can't go. I was like, I need to go. I was getting very frustrated. I was like, I cannot hold it anymore. So by the time I made it, they made a nurse come with me. By the time I made it to the bathroom, it was like gush. I didn't know what it was. I thought I just peed on myself. And because it felt better. I felt better. And I was like, relief. I feel so much better. And the nurse was like, no, get back in the room. So I went back in the room, got on the bed. At that point, the pain got a little better. They gave me Tylenol. And, they said, just try to take a nap because your blood pressure is dropping. You're screaming too much. Let's put some oxygen on your face. Try to take a nap. I said, ma'am, I can't take a nap if I don't know if my baby is okay. She was like, okay, let's try to run some tests. They did another sonogram. Baby looked fine. They said, we don't see an issue with the baby. And I guess somebody else, Rick, told the nurse, I think y'all should do a transvaginal. Now, transvaginal, for ladies out there that knows, is where they do a sonogram, but it's a wand, a big wand. So they did a transvaginal, and the tech was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, what? What do you see? She was like, the doctor will be in a minute. I cannot disclose the information. And I was like, well, you're not helping. What do you see? I was like, you're scaring me. Should I be worried? She was like, ma'am, just hold on. The doctors will be in. No, it was 3 doctors that came in. So at that point, I started panicking. I was like, okay, now it's not one of y'all, it's 3 of y'all. So something is wrong. It was like, ma'am, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to start pushing. I was 19 weeks pregnant. I was like, push what? I was so confused. I was in so much pain. I was like, what you want me to push? It was like, you're going to have to start pushing. The baby is going to be born today. I said, born where? Like, I was so confused. And they said, the baby is breached. And the pain you're having down there is because the baby's feet is already out. It's already out of your cervix. You know, there's nothing stopping it from coming out of the canal completely. I said, what? When I got that news, it's like I was numb. It's like somebody dropped hot water on me or something. Like I was numb, confused, lost, hurt. I was mad. I was angry. I was angry because I felt like it was a defeat towards my own self. I felt like it made me feel less of a woman, like I couldn't carry. I just didn't know how to feel. So my husband, he didn't get the news yet. He was still, they made him sit back for a little bit because he was panicking and they didn't want him to make it worse on me. So they took me up to labor and delivery. And they made me push. First, the doctors did what they had to do, insert their hand, try to turn the baby around. They finally got the baby to turn around, and then they told me to start pushing. Keep in mind, I had no medication. I was so emotional, so I feel like the pain was even more intense. I started crying. I didn't have strength to push because all I could do was cry. So I pushed. He came out. He came out actually breathing. And then I was like, "Is there anything you can do, just to save his life? Give him a chance." The doctor was like, I'm not saying no hospital name, but that was the worst. They just put the baby on my chest and was like, he ain't gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. So you can hold him until he takes his last breath. So I'm looking at the clock across from the hospital bed, and I'm like, okay, hour went by. Okay, he's still breathing. You're not even gonna try to put him in an incubator or something? Hour and a half went by before he actually took his last breath. And I was like, I understand. When kids are born very young, 19 weeks especially, their lungs, a lot of defects. But the fact that they didn't try, that was very disrespectful to me, just to put the baby on my chest and say, he's not going to make it. I was very upset, and I felt like then I don't know what I experienced. Afterwards, when I went to the doctor, that's when they told me that was an anxiety attack, because I was reliving it. I was thinking about it. I couldn't eat. I didn't eat for months. And after I had him, I was sent into the OR because my placenta didn't want to come out. Keep in mind, after I had him, I lost so much blood. And then I had to get a blood transfusion. I had to get 2 liters of blood. So I was on getting blood transfusion for the next 2 days later after I had him. I was sent to the OR because my placenta wouldn't come out. Then to find out how much blood I lost at the OR, there was like, I guess one of the doctors was Christian, because she was like, ma'am, be thankful you're alive. God is good. She was like, because you lost so much blood, you could have lost your life. She like, your blood pressure was extremely low. You know, we had to hurry and pump medication through your IV to try to get your blood pressure back up. So I said, you know what? At the end of the day, God has a reason for everything. It was so painful. Um, you know, I was depressed. But the worst is because, you know, I had to try to hide it. Um, I had to try to hide it. I'm saying try because it was hard. It was hard for me to even drink water because the pain was that intense. I feel like something was on my chest that I couldn't bear. I finally, you know, I dreamed my whole life. You know, I couldn't wait to become a mommy. And then just to find out that, you know, that was taken away from me. So it was very tough. This video, I don't want to make it too long, so I would be, you know, I would talk more about in the other videos. I would give more explanation about, you know, what happened, what I went through, and so forth. But please, please, please like, subscribe, share, comment. Also, you can visit my blog on www.caringforyourmindbodyspirit.com.